What's up everybody, I'm Sean and I am hands down the best web developer in this video. And today we're going to be talking about HTML. This video is the fourth in a series on how to build a website with your own custom code, not using WordPress or any other content management system. As I mentioned before, this video series is for serious coders, not for WordPress warriors or drag and droppers. I got nothing against WordPress, by the way, but this video series is specifically dedicated to people who want to build websites with their own custom code. So if that's you, my friend, you were in the right place. Even if you're a beginner, that's fine. It's dedicated toward beginners, but you have to know that you want to build websites with your own code, that you want to be a serious coder. If you missed the previous 3 videos, please be sure to check those out. The first one is on the differences between building a website with WordPress or your own custom code. The second one is how to put a website up on the internet and how websites work in general. And the third one is on the basic tools you're going to need to get started as a web developer and start building websites. This video is all about HTML. HTML is the first thing you need to learn if you want to be a web developer, regardless of the branch of web development that you're going into. HTML is absolutely essential for developers. It is like the air we breathe. We absolutely need HTML. And if you've never learned HTML before and you're a total beginner, check out the link below to an introductory HTML course that you can get done in just 7 hours. And honestly, you can probably do it in even less time than that. And yes, by the way, that beautiful background is HTML. So what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it will be the first and most important language you learn in web development, and it is going to be the base for all of the code you write on all of your web pages. And even if you're not going to build an entire website from scratch and you're not going to do all of the front-end coding, which is the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, what the user of the website sees in their browser, even if you're not going to do that, it's very important to know HTML. You're going to need to know HTML before you can truly learn any other programming language that's related to building websites, CSS, JavaScript, PHP. If you're not familiar with all these, don't worry, there's going to be later videos in the same series on all those subjects. And even if you decide that you don't want to build sites with your own custom code and you do want to use WordPress or another content management system, it's still important to know HTML because you can make little adjustments to a WordPress site using some of your own HTML, and that can be very useful. And learning HTML at the beginning is also going to allow you to learn any other web development language or programming language much faster. By the way, check out the link below to tomorrows-campus.com if you're interested in web development courses on any subject. Of course, we've got a lot of HTML courses in there, but we've got a database of over 1,000 web development courses on all subjects. We're talking about mobile app development, artificial intelligence, machine learning, game development, all sorts of stuff. Check it out, link below, tomorrows-campus.com. Also, show some love and drop a thumbs up on your way down there if you like the video so far, or even if you don't like the video that much, maybe just because you like my shirt. I mean, this is custom, you know, they don't just hand these out at Walmart. Anyway, back to HTML. HTML is becoming very versatile nowadays as well. You can actually build mobile apps using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which were traditionally only used for building websites and web pages. And if you're still not sold on the idea that you should learn HTML, honestly, it's not that hard to learn anyway and won't take that long, especially since you, my friend, are a tech genius and you just don't know it yet. And HTML is really pretty easy. You can learn it in a matter of hours, so you might as well do it. Click the link below. Now, I'm going to put a little demo up on the screen in a minute here about HTML, but one thing that I should mention before we go into that, or well, 2 things, I guess, are wireframing and site mapping. So a wireframe is sort of a visual guide of how a web page or site should look, and a site map explains how each page of a site is related to its content. The reason that I mention these things right now before we even get into HTML is because I learned the hard way that it's very important before you just go out there and start writing HTML, start writing code and trying to build a web page or a website. It's very important to have an idea or a design or even a drawing in mind of what you want the layout of the web page or the website to look like first. And this is a big mistake that I made numerous times early on as a developer. I would have an idea for a website or a web page, and I would go ahead and just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna open up my Atom code editor and just create an HTML document, and I'm gonna just start coding without having any sort of plan or anything like that, any sort of layout of design of how I wanted the site to look. I would just go in there and say, yep, let's just start doing my HTML, it's just going to turn out beautiful. And then a couple hours later, I'd be like, wow, that doesn't look good at all, and I have no plan for where I'm going with this or how this is actually supposed to look. And that, my friends, is how you waste about 3 hours coding. So don't do that. Don't be like me. Make a plan first of how you want your web page to look or website to look before you just go out there and start coding like a madman. And there's a lot of software tools you can use out there to do wireframing or to create sort of a mock-up design of what you want your website to look. You can use those. You don't even necessarily have to. You can just draw something out with pencil and paper, whatever. But the point is, you need to make some sort of a design first. Design the layout of the page. Think about it a little bit before you just go in there and start coding, because that never works. Anyway, Google wireframes and sitemaps to learn more about that. I told you before, you need to learn to be a good Googler if you want to be a good web developer. Okay, back to HTML. So what does an HTML page typically look like? Now let's put up a little bit more advanced HTML page than this goofy one that I have here. So in an HTML page, typically you've got a couple of main sections. You've got a head section, and then it's followed by a body section. And in the head section, you're going to have a lot of information that's not actually displayed in the browser. The user doesn't see it. Whereas in the body section, that's what the user sees in their browser. Now, this is obviously not a full tutorial. If you're looking for a full tutorial, click on the link below. Now, while we're here looking at the top of this web page, let's talk about SEO for a minute. Search engine optimization. You see these meta tags here? These tags contain information about the page, title, description, etc., etc. Now, as a web developer, you don't need to be an SEO expert, and I'm certainly not, but you do need to understand the basics, because what these tags do is not only do they give a title and description of the web page, but they also help your page rank higher and more appropriately in Google search results. I guess I probably shouldn't just automatically assume that Google is the search engine that you're using, but it probably is anyway. So also, there's a link below to an SEO specialization. If you do want to be an SEO expert, check that out. So anyway, after all of the SEO related stuff comes the body of the HTML, and that's where you're going to have everything that the user sees in their browser. And like I said, this is not a full tutorial. I don't have the time or the manpower to give a full HTML tutorial, so click on that link below if you're a beginner to HTML and you want to take the introductory course. And that is all I've got for you guys for this video. Drop a thumbs up down below if you like the video. Feel free to leave a comment if you'd like. Check out the link to tomorrows-campus.com to learn more about web development and find the web development course that's right for you, for your budget, for your time frame, and in the subject that you're looking for. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and it won't be long before you're out there saving the world with the amazing code that you write.